Hello students, today let us know some thermodynamic properties. In that, first one is internal energy. The energy stored within a system is called internal energy. The energy present in the system is nothing but internal energy. This internal energy is nothing but the total sum of different forms of energy present in the system. Previously, in old books, internal energy is denoted by E, but in new books, internal energy is denoted by U. This internal energy is equal to sum of electronic energy, nuclear energy, chemical energy, potential energy, kinetic energy, rotational energy, different forms of energy present in the system. Matter has electrons. The movement of electrons adds energy to the system, so that energy is electronic energy. Matter has nucleus. Nucleus is spinning. It has certain amount of energy, that is called nuclear energy. In matter, atoms are bonded. They have a certain they have a type of energy. That energy is chemical energy. The matter has size, different height, different position. They have a certain energy, that is potential energy, and the same way they have kinetic energy. Sum of all these energies is nothing but internal energy of the system. Next, internal energy depends upon nature of substance, and it also depends upon temperature, composition, volume, and pressure. Nature of substance. It depends upon the nature of substance. Nature of iron is different, nature of steel is different, nature of plastic is different. So, same amount of these substances have different internal energy. We can break plastic, but we cannot break iron. Why we are unable to break iron? Because its internal energy is very high compared to plastic. Plastic internal energy is less, so we can break it. So internal energy depends upon nature of the substance. Internal energy also depends upon some factors, that is temperature, composition, volume, and pressure. As the temperature increases, there is increase in internal energy. As the composition changes, there is change in internal energy. As there is volume change, there is change in internal energy. Pressure change, there is change in internal energy. So these are the some factors which affect internal energy. Each and every system has a certain energy that is equal to its internal energy. As you know that absolute value of all these forms of energy, that is micro level energies, cannot be measured exactly. So absolute value of internal energy cannot be measured, but we can measure the change in internal energy. Okay, let us know characteristics, properties of internal energy. What are the properties of internal energy? What is its character? First, internal energy is an extensive property because internal energy depends upon the amount of matter present in the system. A wire can be easily cutted. A metal wire can be easily we can break it just by just by very thin wire is that we can break it manually or hand. You can able to cut it. If the same iron rod is there, we cannot cut it. It means internal energy of the wire is small compared to iron rod. Here internal energy of rod is more because amount of iron present in that rod is more, so it depends upon the amount, so it is an extensive property. Second one, internal energy is a state function. It means that its value only depends upon initial state and final state, and it is independent of the path. As you know that temperature is going to affect the internal energy, and you know that temperature is a state function. As temperature is a state function which is independent of the path, in the same way internal energy is also a state function and it is also independent of path. Third property, that is internal energy of the system is constant in a cyclic process. Already explained what is cyclic process. Cyclic process is that process which starts from the same point and ends with the same point. It means the initial state and final state of the system remain same. When initial conditions, final conditions, that is final initial temperature, pressure, volume, final temperature, pressure, volume are same, then there is no change in internal energy because internal energy depends upon all these factors. And fourth one, internal energy of system changes when exchange of heat between system and surrounding takes place and work is done on the system or work is done by the system. If system absorbs heat energy from the surrounding, there is increase in internal energy. If the system loses heat energy, then there is decrease in internal energy. If work is done on the system, then there is increase in internal energy of the system. If work is done by the system, then there is decrease in internal energy of the system. Fifth property, that is in an isothermal process, internal energy of the system remain constant. There is no change in internal energy whenever the system undergoes isothermal process, because to maintain constant temperature we are continuously supplying heat energy to the system. Here amount of heat absorbed by the system is converts into work, so there is neither increase or decrease in the internal energy of the system. So we can say internal energy in isothermal system remain constant. Next one, change in internal energy. Change in as already you know that exact value or absolute value of internal energy cannot be measured, whereas the difference in internal energy of the system can be measured. The difference in initial the difference in internal energy of the system in the initial state and in the final state is called change in internal energy. What was it in the initial state? What is its value in the final state? The difference in the values nothing but change in internal energy. It is denoted by delta U. Delta U is equals to U2 minus U1, where U2 is internal energy in the initial state, U1 is final state, U1 is internal energy in the initial state. Next, sign convention for change in internal energy. Delta U is positive if system absorbs heat energy or work is done on the system. Delta U is positive, that is increase in internal energy if the system absorbs heat energy from surrounding. If system absorbing heat energy from the surrounding, there is increase in internal energy and we are denoted by positive value. If work is done on the system, then also there is increase in internal energy, so we are representing or denoted by positive sign. Delta U value is negative if the system loses heat energy to the surrounding and work is done by the system on the surrounding, because there is decrease in internal energy of the system. The unit of change in internal energy in SI system is joule, whereas in CJ system it is erg, and you know that 1 joule equals to 10 to the power of 7 ergs. Okay, we completed internal energy. Now the second property, that is work. Work is nothing but whenever an object changes or displaces from one place to another place on the application of force, and it displaces in the direction of the force. For example, a ball is kept on the table. If I pushed it, it means if I applied some force on the ball, it displaces. It means there is some work is done. So this work done is given by force into displacement. That is, work is done by the system. Work is given by force into displacement. We can represent, or we can write as W is equals to F into dl. W is work done, F is force applied, dl is small displacement in the object. If dl is 0, if there is no displacement in the body, in the object, then work done by the system or work done is 0. For example, if you are studying for several hours by sitting at the corner of a room, there is no displacement in your body, so work done by your body is 0. But actually you are doing some psychological work, mental work, so psychological quantities cannot be measured, whereas force and displacement are physical quantities which can be measured. Okay, so if you are studying at the corner by sitting, if you are studying by sitting at the corner, there is no work done by you. Okay, the above type of work is called mechanical work. The other important types of works in thermodynamics are electrical work and work of expansion or compression of gas, or we can call it as pressure volume work. Electrical work is given by electromotive force, that is EMF, into quantity of electricity. The product of EMF, that is electromotive force, which is measured in volts, quantity of electricity, that is number of charges passed per unit time, that is coulombs, is nothing but electrical work. I am not going to go in detail about that. Okay, next, work of expansion or compression or pressure volume work. When a gas expands or contracts against the external pressure, then the work done is called pressure volume work. When gas is expanding or contracting against some external pressure, there is expansion of gas or contraction of gas again against some external pressure, and this type of work is, we are going to call it as pressure volume work. To understand it better, let us understand the pressure volume work in briefly. Here we have a cylinder, and this cylinder has certain amount of gas. Let V1 be the volume of gas, and this gas has some pressure. That pressure is called internal pressure, and this cylinder is fitted with a piston, and the nature of the piston is frictionless and movable. On the piston there is some pressure that is called external pressure, or pressure exerted by air, or pressure exerted by atmosphere. We can also call it as pressure of the surrounding. The cross sectional area of the cylinder is a square centimeter. If the internal pressure of the gas is greater than external pressure, then the gas will expand. Because of that expansion, the piston moves a certain distance, small distance, that is dl centimeter. The work is done on the system is indicated by positive sign. W is equals to P external V2 minus V1. Here the gas is compressed, so V2 is smaller than V1, so V2 minus V1 is negative. So P W is equals to minus P external negative. So here work done is positive. Or simply we can say, if the work is done by the system, negative. If work is done on the system, positive. The unit of work is joule. 1 joule equals to 1 Newton meter, and it is equal to 1 kg meter square per second square. Work done in isothermal reversible expansion is given by formula W is equals to minus 2.303 nRT log V2 by V1. Here the work is reversible, the work is isothermal, it means it maintains at constant temperature and it is reversible expansion, and work is given by W is equals to minus 2.303 nRT log V2 by V1. Here V1 and V2 are initial and final volume of the gas, N is number of moles of gas, T is absolute temperature, and R is universal gas constant. Universal gas constant. The above expression can also be written as W is equals to minus 2.303 nRT log P1 by P2, where P1 is initial pressure and P2 is final pressure, and this expression we are obtaining by Boyle's law, that is P1 V1 equals to P2 V2, or V2 by V1 is equals to P1 by P2, where volume are inversely proportional according to Boyle's law. So V2 and P2 are inversely proportional, V1 and P1 are inversely proportional. So in place of V2 we can use P1, and in place of V1 we can use P2. So this is the two expressions are going to explain or going to calculate whenever the process is reversible and isothermal. Just I want to clear here the difference between reversible and irreversible process. At what condition we can say reversible process, and at what condition we can say irreversible process. Already you know, reversible process is a very slow process. For example, piston is here, so it is in equilibrium. It means external pressure and pressure of the gas are balanced, so the piston is in equilibrium. If we add some mass on the piston, just adding in milligram level, 1 milligram, 2 milligram, 3 milligram, in this way, very small amount of mass is added here. Because of that, what happens, the piston moves down. That is, external pressure is greater than internal pressure, so the gas will contract. Because of that, the piston slowly moves downward. If we remove one by one, what happens? Again system goes to its original state. This type of process is nothing but reversible process. Just by adding small amount of weight, the gas will compress. Just by removing that weight, again the gas will comes to its original volume. So such type of work, such type of expansion gives a reversible process or reversible reaction. Whereas in irreversible, there is a large difference between external force and internal force. That is, atmospheric pressure and pressure of the gas is are at different level. Means they have very large difference in their values. If external pressure is more very large compared to pressure of the gas will contracts. If the pressure of the gas is more, it will expand infinitely. It means an irreversible process occurs whenever there is a large difference between pressure of the gas and pressure of the external, that is surrounding. If the difference between P external and P internal is very less, then it is reversible. Let us study the difference between reversible and irreversible process. In the reversible expansion of gas, the external pressure is negligibly lesser than internal pressure at each stage. Already I explained here, the difference between P external and P internal is very large, very small difference is there. Because of that small difference, the expansion of gas is reversible. So work done is given by dW is equals to P internal into dV. In the irreversible process, there is a large difference between internal pressure and external pressure. So the work done will be given by W is equals to minus P external into delta V. For the same change in volume, the work done isothermally, reversibly, and the work done isothermally but irreversibly are different. If there is same difference in the volume, it means initial volume and final volume of a gas are same, but the gas undergoes two different types of process. One is isothermal reversible process, that is AB, and another one is isothermal irreversible process, that is BC or CB. So in such cases, this is an isothermal process, whereas this one is this is AB is isothermal reversible process, whereas CB is isothermal irreversible process. The area under AB is nothing but work done by reversible process. Area under CB is nothing but work done by irreversible process. As you know, work done by reversible process is given by AB V2 V1 or A V1 V2 B. So here it is covering large amount of area, so work done by reversible process is more, whereas the work done by irreversible process is nothing but under the area BC. So the work done by irreversible process is BC V1 V2. As you know, the area covered by reversible process is more than the area covered by irreversible process. So we can say that work done in reversible process is greater than work done in irreversible process. That is, work done in reversible process is greater than irreversible process. Let us know some important points regarding this. In irreversible expansion, external pressure remain constant. But in reversible expansion or reversible process, external pressure has to be decreased continuously. We have a fixed pressure in irreversible expansion process, whereas in reversible process the same pressure decreasing continuously. There is decrease continuously, and difference between the two stages is very small. Second important point, in reversible process, in reversible isothermal process, we are getting a smooth curve. As I shown here, this type of curve we are getting in reversible process, because there is gradual decrease in the pressure and the process is undergoing many intermediate stages. At each stage, that decrease in pressure is very small, so we are getting a smooth curve.